Can I tell you something crazy? I went on a trip for 7 days with an unlimited budget to figure out the answer to this question. How much money will make me happy? Is it the famous $75,000 a year? Or maybe it's limitless? And where better to explore this question than here, the money capital of the world. Welcome to Macau. In this video, let's have a fun journey exploring two interesting theories about money and happiness. Also, I'll share some insights from my own experience, starting from $55,000 out of college. Plus, I'll take you on a luxurious journey with my mom in Macau. So come join us in staying in suite, enjoying delicious food, and exploring this dazzling city. Let's go. We have 2 bathrooms in this room. Very important. And then here's the living room. It's so nice of them to have even all these fruits. I don't drink anymore, but this is very pretty. We have 2 beds, 2 queen beds, one for me and one for mommy who's taking photos. Hi, mom. And my favorite, we're gonna go to our dressing room. Ta-da. And then bathroom with bathrobes and scale that I'm not gonna use during this trip. My mom is already on the fruit. 한국어로 쓰신 거야? 아, 와 너무 고맙다. 엄마 어때?
너무 좋아.
아, 나도 너무 좋아.
고마워 유진아.
아잉, 진짜. The least I can do though. I'll be getting dinner in that tower tonight. So welcome to Macau. Hi, this is Yoojin. I'm a working professional based in Boston. I more than quadrupled my salary over the past 10 years. You would think I would be content with my life, right? But both studies and my experiences tell a different story. 2, 1,
天天在那等喝酒。
Let's first dive into what the first economist to study happiness said. In 1974, Richard Easterlin, an econ professor at the University of Pennsylvania, go Quakers, discovered something surprising about money and happiness. Easterlin discovered that people with more wealth tend to be happier than those with less. I mean, makes sense, right? More money means better access to resources, comforts, and opportunities. But here's where things get interesting. The economist also noticed that as countries become wealthier, the average happiness of their people didn't necessarily increase as much as you would expect. This observation, known as the Easterlin paradox, states that the more money you have won't make you happy. So why doesn't more money lead to a happier country? Easterlin suggested that happiness is more about relative income than absolute income. This means that our perceived wealth, compared to those around us, has more impact on our happiness than the actual amount of money we have. Another reason is adaptation. As you get richer, you get used to your new level of wealth and start wanting even more. This leads to a cycle where happiness does not significantly increase. 천둥번개. 와우. 내일 나갈 수 있을까? In summary, the Easterlin paradox tells us that while having more money can make individuals happier, there's a limit to how much happiness money can buy on a broader scale. And if you're a stats geek like me, feel free to dive deeper into his papers. The original finding was based on the data from 1946 to 1970 in the United States. He later updated his research on 2014, confirming his initial finding. So we just had our breakfast, and today we're gonna go see the Macao Tower and walk around there before lunch. Our lunch is going to be 2 hours long, so I want to make sure we can get a lot of exercise in. I think so far my impression of Macau is people come here to spend money. The shops were open till 11 p.m. last night, which I thought was incredibly long and felt sorry for the staff. And the Londoner smells like someone put some perfume on the whole building. It's like you're walking into an Asian version of Abercrombie & Fitch. 이제 다 챙겼고 나가자. That's where we're staying. But Easterlin didn't give us a number. How much do you need to be happy? What is this magic number? Fast forward to 2010, the Nobel Prize winning economists Daniel Kahneman and Angus Deaton introduced a big number to the world, $75,000. How much you need to be happy. I was talking with a friend yesterday about this, and we both remember reading about it back in 2010. Our response? No, there's no way this is enough. As a recap, Kahneman and Deaton explored how income impacts two types of happiness: emotional well-being and life evaluation. The study was actually titled High Income Improves Evaluation of Life but Not Emotional Well-Being. Emotional well-being is all about what you feel, the joy, stress, and sadness, while life evaluation is about how you feel about your life overall, your general impressions and whatnot. They found that as income increases, both types of happiness improve. But here's the catch. Emotional well-being increases with an income up to about $75,000 per year. And after that, more money doesn't make much difference to our daily happiness. So why $75,000? It's because this amount helps people cover their basic needs, reduce stress, and enjoy some comforts. Beyond that, extra money doesn't really change daily life much.
밥 먹으러 왔어요. 네. 일단 체크합시다.
Now, keep in mind that this study was published over a decade ago. I had one positive and one negative impression on this study. To start on the brighter side, the study was a good reminder that happiness is not solely tied to luxury, but to a comfortable and stress-free life.
와, 비늘이 느껴진다, 야,
진짜 너무 진짜 이거는 예술이네. 드세요.
It was a gentle nudge on the importance of meeting basic needs. The not so bright part was my skepticism. My mom and I used to joke, "Are you going to have 4 croissants and 3 dinners every day?" I get my mom and Kahneman's point, but what if you live in a high cost of living city? What about the cost of raising children or providing for your families? Remember how I mentioned my journey earlier? I want to share what I learned after chasing a specific income in my 20s. When I started working, I had this very specific number in my mind, driven not by greed, but by necessity. My work visa depended on it. I was working in a consulting company that was sponsoring my green card. And as part of the green card process, I needed to earn a certain income based on the city I was living in. The U.S. Department of Labor has guidelines for prevailing wage determination, or PWD. This dictates the minimum salary an employer must pay a foreign worker, me in this case, for their green card application. And because my job at the time was based in Silicon Valley, I was stacked up against and compared with other exceedingly high earners. So when I got off the phone with the lawyer that my salary does not meet the minimum requirements, I was very disappointed. What do I do now? Move back to Korea or look for a new job? Start over again? Ultimately, I chose to move to the city with a lower wage requirement for my green card, and that ended up being Los Angeles. It was not a choice I was super happy with. I just bought a brand new couch 6 months ago. How am I going to move all my stuff again? This is so frustrating. And because it was so emotionally taxing and physically draining, I had a tough time in LA for the first few months. Now, I have since more than doubled what I made 5 years ago. I don't have to worry about moving to a new city to meet the green card wage requirement. So did money buy me happiness? Yes, money did bring me comfort. But happiness is a slightly different story. And here is my approach to happiness. Let's talk about 소확행, 소소하지만 확실한 행복, a Korean term meaning small but guaranteed happiness. It's about finding joy in the simple, everyday moments that often go unnoticed. Seek simple pleasures rather than seek happiness from grand achievements or big events. For example, I love matcha latte. Even if it's a $7 matcha latte with extra 75 cents for oat milk, I know a cold matcha latte on a hot summer day will make me happy. Long vacations like the one you are seeing now are nice too. But do you ever get the vacation blues when you return to your normal life? Well, I certainly do. That's why we need to look for happiness in doses, not in floods. By appreciating the small moments, we can experience continuous joy without relying on occasional larger events. While discussing how much money you need to be happy, it's important to remember that happiness isn't always about big major milestones or financial success. It's about appreciating these small, certain moments of joy. It's easy to chase after the big things because we like to think that it will make us happy. A fancy car, a bigger house, a job title that sounds nicer in your resume. I thought after getting my Wharton MBA, my life would be a breeze. Happiness, though, is so complex and personal. Reducing it down to income levels seems too simplistic. You have to first define what makes you smile, laugh, and feel at peace. In Macao with my mom, the best meals we had weren't in the most expensive restaurants, but in small random places that we stumbled upon. This trip taught me that purposeful spending, creating memories, and enjoying simple moments is what brings unexpected joy. Sometimes moments like that come to you when you stop chasing. Not a specific job, not a specific score, and definitely not a specific salary. You already have what it takes to find joy. So here's a question for you. What makes you happy? What made you smile today? Did you smile at all? Thank you for watching, and come back to my next video topic on